I heard you mention Epstein actually before. I just found out in this last few weeks that Epstein was doing gravity conferences with Lawrence Krauss, the PhD physicist, back in the 2000s. They were writing gushing articles about
let's stop
how
right
Epstein
there.
was,
exactly. I want you to have the floor. We'll do 30 minutes next hour if you can do it. Let's stop, reset. The sex stuff was like hors d'oeuvres at a party or a cheese plate. Terrible, horrible, evil. But I'm telling you, it was money laundering, it was control of scientists, it was human genetic engineering, cloning, secret physics, secret science, a kind of club for these people. And you're saying you've run into that in your own research. Start over and you got the floor.
Yeah. Lawrence Krauss with the Gravity Wave Conference, it turns out Epstein was connected to a lot of physicists. And if you look at through this lens of, okay, the suppression of science, potentially related to nuclear weapons, gravity research, I think they figured out gravity or gravity modification with the fusion bomb. That's probably how they got it to work. And if you look at it from that perspective, then looking at those conferences is more of a situation of like picking the winner. Like they're meeting together to figure out who's going to be the person that wins the Nobel Prize for publicly revealing gravitational waves. And sure enough, 2017, there we go. We just handing our Nobel Prize for gravitational waves to somebody who probably doesn't even deserve it because they had already figured out gravitational waves decades before that. So you look at these conferences with Epstein and this gatekeeping and sketchy stuff that's happening, and you look at it through this lens of, okay, this is them actually deciding like when we're going to be allowed to get some of these technologies. You also mentioned the PhDs and the gatekeepers. You're right. They are, a lot of them, PhDs. There's something called the JSON group, and they meet every summer after the PhDs are all done at school, and they meet with the CIA and they determine where's the line for national security on what things can come out. And in one case, they actually did a tribunal against a guy that won a Lifetime Achievement Award for gravitational waves, Robert M.L. Baker. They did Ron Pandolfi of the CIA put him up for tribunal because he was suspected of helping the Chinese figure out this gravitational wave stuff. In the end, they basically gave him a pass because the scientists that met decided, well, the effect is too small to really be significant. So we're not going to, throw this guy in prison for helping the Chinese or whatever. And that's what's going on behind the scenes.
So the scientific elite are the deep state of the deep state.
I think that's a good representation of it. What does the deep state mean? Essentially, for me, it's the people that are in the know of this that are preventing us from getting it. And then the people like Peter Thiel and what have you who are profiting off of it. It really makes me wonder how many billionaires out there have been profiting off inside information about these emerging technologies, knowing that they're real, while the public has no idea whatsoever.
And that's a real class system there. But you hit something really key from what I've been told by high-level deep insiders. They said most of these billionaires are a holding company. So when you've got a whole group of scientists, private and public, governmental, they come up with stuff. They get together and actually create secret contracts and stuff. Then they'll have a spokesperson, and then they all get enriched and have power from it. And they even have their own hitmen, their own mafias, their own rules, their own courts, their own everything. Unless you've been hiding under a rock, you know that medical grade methylene blue is all the rage. It's incredible. It's changed my life. Well, now, our sponsor has taken it and added a key compound, alpha lipoic acid, that totally supercharges it and takes it to the next level. You can exclusively get this formula at bluevitality.com right now. And with promo code BLUE at checkout, you get an additional 20% off. Ladies and gentlemen, we only sell products that work. This is absolutely amazing. I'm working on private labeling it right now for thealexjonesstore.com and ultramethylene blue. But this is the best medical grade with the alpha lipoic acid on top of it. This is the best methylene blue combination we've discovered so far. Get it right now at bluevitality.com. It will totally blow you away, and it supports our broadcast. Go now to bluevitality.com. Use promo code BLUE for an additional 20% off at checkout. Thanks for the support.